bummer this morning. A lot of emotions, I think, for Scotty more than me. But I definitely, ESPN and college football, I've talked about my love for college football. Lee Corso was riding shotgun to that explosion of college football in my life and more than likely yours too. A member of the first ever, I'll say iteration again, iteration of College GameDay in 1987 alongside Tim Brando and some other cast members. He has stepped down today, announced his retirement just moments ago, really. That's 38 seasons he's been a part of GameDay. He was part of the first ever college football road show for GameDay. In 1993, they went to Notre Dame and Florida State in South Bend, 1 versus 2. It was Craig James, it was Lee Corso, it was Chris Fowler. He's just been a staple. We've welcomed him into our living rooms for almost 4 decades, some of us. And 430 times he has put on the mascot head. And he was also a bad dude. Like he coached Louisville, Indiana, Northern Illinois. He also coached the Orlando team in the USFL when the USFL was like humming in 1985. And it's a bummer that he's gone. But also, you can understand why. I bang the drum for ESPN here all the time because they've treated me so well. And they obviously, a superstar like Lee Corso, they treated him phenomenal. And he talks about it. He had a stroke, and they made accommodations for him to continue to be a part of things. Scotty, what does Corso mean to you?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to get emotional. I had tears in my eyes when I saw it, and I'm getting borderline emotional now. So you said, how long has he been doing this?
38 years.
I'm 32.
Yeah.
So literally, I don't have memories ever since I fell in love with college football. I fell in love with Baylor football as a kid. I fell in love with college football when Vince Young won the national championship in 2005 over USC. That's when I was like, this is the greatest sport in the world. And from that point on, dude, he's been on my TV every Saturday morning, like every time. In college, like that was my friend group's routine. We'd get up early in the morning. We'd get some breakfast or some coffee. We'd all get in the same apartment and watch College GameDay every Saturday. And then we'd go, when Baylor had home games, we'd go out to the game. This guy is a legend. Like I always say, there's 2 studio sports shows that I think every other studio sports show needs to try to be because they are so good. One's inside the NBA, and it's just the chemistry those 4 guys have, and the other is ESPN College GameDay. And through different hosts, they've had a few different people rotate in and out of there, right? Fowler for a long time, Pollock for a while. Like you've had people come in and out. Corso and the headgear has been the best segment on that show the whole time. It's been the best. There are Saturdays where you're like, I don't feel like getting up, but I got to get up. I got to get up by the time he does the headgear. Truly. So,
430 times he's put on the headgear.
Unbelievable.
And his record, ESPN sent an email out this morning, 286 and 144 is the record. That's a 66% winning percentage. It's amazing. What are your thoughts when as a Baylor fan, when you're sitting at home and we talked about there were times when he put on that Baylor, I think it was one time
in
2019 when they the comeback for Oklahoma.
We don't have to talk about that. I've actually got the clip.
Throw it up there.
I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and then if you're watching this on a replay and it's not there, it's because we've taken it down for copyright reasons. But for now, for our live audience and the few that watch, I thought it was important to share this. So here we go.
Offense. All time, Oklahoma is 25-3 versus Baylor. This is an easy pick for me now. Oklahoma. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong head.
What?
Here, you have it.
I'll take this one.
I'm going for the upset. Give me that
Big thanks to Chip and Joanna Gaines under the headgear. Yeah,
Yeah, give him a little sugar there, Chip. That works for us. Alabama and Mississippi State coming up. What a great morning it's been here. Thank you,
Dude, as a guy who has embraced Waco, that gives me the warm and fuzzies and some goosebumps on top of it. Chip and Joe and Lee Corso all with the headgear on?
Yeah. It's incredible.
So how does that make you feel when you see that?
I can't put it into words.
Yeah.
And I know like that show is bigger than Lee Corso. Like that show will go on.
Yeah.
If they come back to Waco, we will have another packed out crowd in McLean.
Yeah.
I told you before we came on, I think they've caught lightning in a bottle again with McAfee. I think that's going to continue. But the Lee Corso, it's both the college game day thing, the symbolism of the headgear every week, but then it's also, I think, another, and this is going to keep happening in the next 10 years, an icon of a media time that has gone by, right? Like McAfee's the new wave star, and it's because of YouTube. Like we're doing this show, YouTube.
Yeah.
Like the grand studio traveling show with the host that everyone waits in line all night to get to see come out and wave and say hello. The first time I went to college game day was in Stillwater, and me and my buddies got there a day early, stayed up 24 hours so we could be in the front row. We were 3 Baylor fans amidst a sea of Cowboys in the front row. And when Lee Corso, Fowler had come out and talked to us and a couple of, but when Lee Corso came out and just waved, I mean, hey everybody, dude. You would have thought it was like John Lennon. Like it was like a true rock star moment, man.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's not a lot of guys like that in media and in TV, less and less.
Yeah.
Really special.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, the last of a dying breed is extreme, but I get your point. He really was that mainstream guy that also, and I touched on it earlier, he was a badass coach. Like, he morphs into this almost caricature of a man later in his career, the kind older gentleman. But he was a tough dude. Like, he coached, I think Denver Broncos great Hall of Famer Tom Jackson, he coached at Louisville. Yeah. And I can just remember Jackson saying, like, he wasn't always a sweet guy. He was fire and brimstone.
One of my, it might be my favorite live television moment.
By the way, I'm not sure if Tom Jackson's a Hall of Famer, but it sounded great.
Nice. It might be my favorite live television moment ever, and I didn't pull the clip. We could show it. It's YouTube. But when he was putting on the head and he yells the F word as he throws it off. You remember that? You remember that clip? He goes, F it. And he chucks the mascot in. And the whole set, like Kirk, falls off the set. Like they're just dying because it was like for 2 seconds that that intensity kind of came through.
And then he said the one time, and it was you could tell there's no harm meant by it. He called the little kid the M word that you would say for little people. He called him a midget.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, it's the kid says something like sharp to Corso, and he says, slow down there, midget. And you see like Herb Street and Fowler just like, oh my gosh, like what are we gonna do with this guy?
Yeah.
Just an overall legend. A couple highlights for him, by the way, since we're into this. In 1999, he was 11-0. He picked every single game correctly. That's most wins in a season for him without a loss. He was a coach, an assistant at Navy. He's never picked against the midshipmen. His October 5th, 1996, Ohio State over Penn State. That was his first headgear pick. And his 100th was September 17th, 2005, Florida State over BC. You get the idea. All right, I'll give you a guess, Scotty. Who is the school that he picked the most headgear?
It's either Ohio State or Alabama. I bet it's Ohio State.
You're good, dude. You didn't see this?
No, I really didn't.
Ohio State 45, Alabama 38.
I'm just thinking who's been so elite over the last 20 years, and who do they go see all the time? And
pretty good,
it makes
Scotty.
That tracks, yeah.
Pretty good. So Lee Corso, he will do one more episode of College Game Day. He's gonna do his last headgear pick, the opener, which is yet to be determined. for ESPN College GameDay.
I'm really glad they're doing that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really glad it's not like Happy April, you're never gonna see Corso again.
Yeah,
Let's do one last hurrah, celebrate him.
Yeah.
they're gonna, that episode's gonna be.
Oh, it's going to be so
It's
emotional.
a 3-hour show. It's gonna be 2 hours of Lee Corso highlights.
That'll be very emotional.
But he's worthy of it, man. Like I said, I as a kid growing up in the 90s and 2000s do not know what Saturdays look like without Lee Corso.
Yeah.
Like, it is really, really impactful for me.
Yeah,
emotionally. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and me too. I mean, you realize, like, 1987, I'm 10 years old, and College Game Day starts. And, not with the fanfare that it has today, but it certainly was. ESPN was kind of the only game in town with 24/7 sports at that time, of course. But it was really, by 1987, it had built out a hell of a brand. And it wasn't hard to find, and you knew where to go for your pregame and all the college football with the bells and whistles. So it was a perfect marriage at a perfect time. And Lee Corso is just a complete legend. August 30th, by the way, will be that final show, week 1, with Lee Corso.
What's good for Baylor fans is we'll be done with our football. We play that Friday night.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Baylor fans can go get the anxiety out, see what the Bears look like against Auburn, and then give full attention to Lee Corso that next morning.
I'm starting to believe more and more they're going to beat the brakes off of Auburn.